Welcome to the workshop. Today we're going to start the electricity unit, and this is going to be our three-part project, and it's going to look a little like this at the end. So we have a little switch here, a motor, some LEDs, some little lights right here, a little battery pack we're going to make, and yeah, and then it's all going to look like this. So first, we want to cut a piece of wire, and we want it to be long enough to reach our other popsicle stick. So just kind of see where that is on yours. I'm gonna cut mine a little longer, just to make sure I have extra wire to play with. And that's a good thing to do with all of our cuts. So we can use scissors to cut it. I'm gonna use scissors right now, but you can also use these needle nose pliers. You just use the part all the way at the bottom, and it's a cutter, right? So I can show that. Boom, easy cut. The scissors will work just fine with this thin wire. So first I'm going to take some tape and some foil, and I'm going to take one end of my wire and wrap some foil over it. Fold it on there real good. That's gonna help this wire make contact with the bottom of our battery. So we're gonna take the minus side of this battery, which is the one without the little bump. It's the flat side. And we're going to tape the end that we put the foil on to the bottom of it. Just like that. Just like that. And then I'm going to place it in front of one of these popsicle sticks, whatever one you choose. That's going to determine, that's just going to be us picking which one we want our battery to be on. And I can take some more tape and I'm going to secure it to this popsicle stick. Right. Tape it around here to make sure it doesn't move anywhere. And that's good enough right there. I don't recommend using hot glue for this, just because if we want to change the batteries out or if our wire comes loose, we can swap it out just by ripping this tape. So I'm going to take a little bit more foil and I'm going to put it on top of this battery that we just taped right there. And that's gonna help it make contact with the other battery that we're gonna stack on top of it. And we wanna make sure it's facing the same direction. So we're gonna take our minus side, which is this flat side, and put it on top of this, this battery. Just like that. Using a little bit more foil will help even out the top of this battery that we already taped on. So I'm going to take some more tape and place it on top, just like that, and tape it on. Just like that. Should look something like this. A little more wire. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna make sure it reaches our other stick around to the top of it. That's where our motor is gonna be. And we're gonna cut it with scissors, with needle nose pliers. And we're going to take our motor now. And you can do the same thing. You can give it a little sanding on the part that you want to glue it from. That's gonna help it stick better to our popsicle stick that we have set up for it. I'm gonna do that, and I'm going to glue it right up on top. And you also could just use some tape as well. You don't have to use any glue. I'm gonna do a little combo of the both. I'm gonna use some glue and I'm gonna use some tape, just to make sure it doesn't go flying off when we're done. Okay, so now that we have that hooked up, we can take our wire that we already have at the bottom of this battery and run it onto one side. These little ears right here at the bottom, they have holes in them. Just run it through one side and give it a little twist. Just like that. And then with this other wire, we're gonna run it through the other side, the other little ear it has, and we're gonna give it a little twist. Should look like this. And now that we have that set up, we can just simply touch the top of this battery right here, and our motor should spin. And if we touch this other side right here, the bottom battery, the top of the bottom battery, where our foil is, let's see if that makes any difference. And if your motor is running, you can tell that it's running a lot slower, right? And that's because it's only running off of this one battery. So each battery is only 1.5 volts, right? So if we're running off the 1.5 volts down here, it's gonna be a lot slower than if we run it through the 2 batteries, which is now double that, 3 volts. And you can hear that difference, you could even feel it, you could touch it. And if it's not working, possibly it's that the bottom wire is not making good enough contact with the bottom of your battery. You can take it off, you can see if your foil is not touching the bottom quite right, or if the wire slipped out. Also, if both your wires are touching, that's a short circuit, right? And that's gonna cause it not to work either. So I can show that right now. So it's working right now, and then oh, my wire comes over and they're both touching each other and it's not working anymore. And you might notice that the wires get hot when that happens, right? So that's another giveaway. And that's our motor and battery. Once you have that set up, we can get some cardboard and we can cut a little shape out of it. I'm just gonna cut kind of a circle out of it. Okay, so once you've drawn whatever design you want on your piece of cardboard, we're going to put a little bit of glue on that hole we made, just a little dot, not a lot, and we're gonna place it on top of our motor, And we're not gonna push down all the way, just a little bit, just enough for it to get on there. Because if we push all the way down, that glue's gonna get stuck on our motor and it's not gonna let it spin when we're ready to use it again. So we wanna make sure it doesn't go all the way down, just on there enough. Make sure it can still spin. Just give it a little spin. And we're gonna wait for it to cool down. So once it's cool, I think it's cool enough, we're going to turn it on and see how our design is working or how it changes when we turn it on. We can try it with the lower speed, we can try it with the higher speed, and we could even add on to it, which is one of my favorite things to do with these, is to turn it on and start drawing with the marker on it. So you can also add pieces of paper on top to make more designs. You can take some scissors and cut a piece of paper to the right size or even to a bigger size. I'm gonna add a little dot of glue to the bottom of it and just push it on top, and just do the same thing again and just see how I can change it up this time. Last thing we can add to this, and it's not the last idea, you can come up with more ideas on how you want to change this up, but one last recommendation that I have is making it make some noise with some paper. So I'm going to cut a little piece of paper, just a little rectangle like this, and I'm going to take one of my binder clips and I'm going to clip it to the popsicle stick that we have underneath. I'm gonna fold it too in half, just like this. And I'm gonna clamp it down with this binder clip, leaning up against my little spinning piece of cardboard to make a little noise maker. So let's test that out. Let's see how that sounds right now. If it's too close, it might stop your motor from working, so then we adjust it, we move it slowly. And if you hear that, it's making noise, right? You can move it farther, you can move it closer, find that right spot that you like.